Hey, Mark, fake banter for the intro.
That's all I know how to do.
Great.
Good to be here.
Welcome to Tuesdays with
Stories.
Hit her in the face with a surfboard.
And then the duck fell out of his bag.
Surf's up. And she didn't even flush.
Knock, knock.
Who's there? Mark Norman and Joe List.
Yeah! This is Tuesdays with Stories, everybody.
Nah, that's terrible.
This is supposed to be cheesy.
My radio is spitting at me.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Tuesdays with Stories. I'm Kiefer Sutherland, and that's Leonard Nimoy. Yeah.
Leonard Nimoy, one of the few Jews in space.
Is he a Jew?
What, are you kidding? Look at his ears.
I thought he was a, what are they called? Mohawks? What are they called?
Vulcan.
Vulcan, yeah, the Vulcans.
I think that was all some anti-Semitism back in the 60s. Like, all right, we got to make this fucking Hebe look a little different than the rest of us. He's a Vulcan.
The craziest thing about Leonard Nimoy, this blows my tits right out of the room. He directed Three Men and a Baby.
What? Shut the hell up.
He did. He's the director of Three Men and a Baby. He was behind the camera saying, hey, live long and prosper, Gutenberg. I mean, it's wild.
Wow. Well, he must have done a Vulcan neck pinch on the quality, because that movie stinks.
I don't know. I kind of like it. I've probably told the story 100 times, and you heard it, yada, yada. But one of the hardest I've laughed in since 1975 was Dan Bulger, our friend.
Funny guy.
Big kook. We were living together, and he's a young guy. He's, 8 years younger than me or whatever. So I was like, yeah, we should do a spoof of Three Men and a Baby. And he's like, what's Three Men and a Baby? And I'm like, it's this movie. And we're high. We're like on drugs. We're drinking. And he's like, well, what's it about? And I'm like, it's about three millionaires. They live in an apartment. Someone leaves them a baby. They thought it was cocaine, but it's a baby, so they keep it. There's a ghost in the window. Colin Quinn's in it, and Leonard Nimoy directed it. And he was just on the floor like, what?
Wow, this is quite a bag of a big gumbo of confusion.
Well, I mean, when you put those things together, you're like, how did I miss this film?
Yeah, man. By the way, I mean, not to go on a gay tangent, but that just shows you how things can change and ebb and flow. Like, at one point, Colin Quinn is in this movie with Ted Danson, the fucking biggest star, sexiest sitcom guy, Gutenberg, Police Academy, Tom Selleck, Magnum P.I., and he probably thought it was the height of his world, the height of his career, and then now that's just a blip on the face of my asshole.
Gutenberg, yeah, I think we were talking about that. Him and I actually were talking about this the other day, because he's doing I don't want to say too much, but he's got a part in a show. And he was saying, in the old days, like when I started back in the 80s, when you would get a part in a show, people were like, you did it, man.
Yeah.
You made it. Like, this is it. And now you're like, I got to go and I'm doing a scene in fucking, I can't even think of a TV show. What's the show? Enlightenment? What's that show on HBO or whatever? High Maintenance?
High Maintenance.
You're like, I got a piece on High Maintenance. I wouldn't even call you for that.
That's true.
What I mean? I would just keep it a secret. I wouldn't tell anybody.
Yeah, like Curb, okay, that's a special place in our taint. But High Maintenance, or even Girls, you're like, oh, cool, Joe got on Girls. You hear about that? Like, oh yeah, well, what are you gonna do?
I mean, Soder is a co-star. I've never seen an episode. I feel bad every time I see him.
Yeah, the show's not great.
I mean, the guy's like one of my closest friends. I fucked him in the ass. His dad's dead, but I've never seen the show ever. I don't even know that it's what's it called?
Billions,
yeah. And I feel, because I heard he's great. I love him.
He's a good
the
actor.
Best. He's great. I mean, he's a brilliantly talented guy, but I'm not going to watch a show.
No, you would hate it. It's all drama. It's all serious and weird lighting and oils. You would hate it. But he's got a big head, and he's a hell of an actor. His mom's a whore. So I think you would hate it, but I think he's really good on the show. I've watched a couple clips.
A physical head, I feel like we should say, because he's a very modest fellow.
Oh, yeah. No. Physically, his head is enormous, but he's a humble cunt.
Humble guy with a goofy head, and we love you, Dan. I'm sure someone will tweet and say, Liz said he fucked your dad or whatever.
Yeah. That's what killed him.
Hell of a special, I might add.
Yes. Son of a Gary. Give it a whirl, folks. He's a great comic and a great egg.
That's on HBO, which, HBO, by the way, I was just talking about this the other day. and I think you agree, HBO still the king. Not
Yes.
just comedy. I'm talking entertainment. Netflix is a joke. I mean, they got a couple things.
They got a couple. The documentaries are like The Night Stalker was amazing. They got a few of those in there.
Yeah, I mean, Making a Murder is fine, but none of them compare to HBO. HBO puts
No.
something out, I'm on it. I'm watching it, and from what I understand, the dramas are the best. The Wire and Sopranos, but they're not for me. But the docs, the comedy specials, the TV, I mean, it's just the best. There's a
It's
new
the best.
series coming out. It came out, the Sunday, if you're listening to this, it comes out tonight in real time. But real time, another great show.
There you go.
But
Curb.
there's a new doc series about a woman that invented a 3-wheeled car. And I watch, it's like a 30-second teaser. I'm like, I'm in. I know this is going to be good. I can't wait.
Interesting. Well, that's a weird choice for a doc, but hey, I'm in too. But yeah, no, they have the best work. They have the most interesting stuff too. Like they take a risk, and it usually pays off. I'm blanking on it now, but like they'll have a show where you're like, what the fuck is it? Like even High Maintenance. That's kind of weird, but they
Right.
bought it. They could see the good in it, and that's what I love about HBO is they'll do a Western. You want to do Deadwood? Hey, if it's good, we'll put it on.
Yeah, so God bless HBO and God bless Soder for getting on there, and Netflix, thanks for having me on there too. Check out my half hour on Netflix.
Oh yeah, you're on it.
Yeah, you forget about that, doesn't it? It's weird.
I
I
totally
forget
forgot.
about it.
Yeah, but that's a great credit. That's like your best credit, probably.
I guess so. I mean, it's weird. When people ask, what do you want me to say? I say Netflix Tonight Show. Netflix because they can go home and watch it, which is
Right,
exciting.
right.
And then Tonight Show, blah, 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 Johnny Carson, Jack Parr, My Sister's Ass.
Well, credits have become this weird thing in the comedy jizz because Tonight Show sounds good. It's almost like got some prestige. Like, oh, this guy's been on the Tonight Show, Suit, 30 Rock, New York, the whole thing. But nobody sees it. Nobody ever watches it. It doesn't help your career a blip. And yet, some YouTube viral, BJ under a bridge will go crazy, or my thing with the news, the anchor chick in the Cleveland skank, that's going crazy. But the Tonight Show sounds good, but it's worthless. It's this weird limbo we're in with stand-up credits.
Yes, how low can you go? But what was I going to say? It was going to be something,
Sweet
and the
love.
limbo thing came to my mind, and it's not even great. And then I had bimbo on my tits for a second.
Bimbo, Limbo, Jimbo.
Kimbo.
Kimbo Slice.
Kimbo Fisher, Jimbo Fisher was a football coach. Wait, what was I going to say? Tonight Show. Oh, I was talking about this the other day to a friend and a wife and a plant. The manager,
Robert.
comedy managers,
Yeah.
must be shitting their pants.
They are.
And TV execs and shit. They must be like want to kill themselves because everything's Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and
Yeah.
Stitch, Lilo and Stitch, and I mean YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, I talked to Tim Dillon the other day. He's fat and gay, and he said he fired his manager. And I said, why? And he goes, because they sent me a Disney audition. Like, I'm going to do Disney? I'm a fucking psycho out here screaming into a microphone about Enron. He's not going to do what's it going to be, a beaver in a Pixar? Come on.
Well, some of these folks are so naive to stuff. They're like, hey, do you want to be the Geico guy? And I'm like, Geico? I've said homo 38 times in the last 10 minutes. Like, they're gonna shoot us if they find us.
Oh, yeah, that lizard would hate you.
That was like, I remember when Gilbert Godfrey got
Gecko.
fired. What's his?
Affleck.
Oh, Affleck. And then I was opening for DePaulo, and he's like, my agent just sent me a voiceover audition to be Affleck. He's like, they fired Gilbert Godfrey. Are you kidding me? I mean, like, we replaced Gilbert Godfrey with Nick DePaulo.
Right. We've replaced Cosby with Epstein.
Exactly.
Yeah. So kooky time. I feel like we're in this weird Elliot Page transitional phase of showbiz. YouTube and TikTok and Parlor and Clubhouse and Grindr and Pornhub and LobsterTube. It's all over the place, and you gotta figure out those choppy waters yourself. I feel like.
I just heard about Clubhouse for the first time. Bob Kelly was telling me about it. Him and Rich Voss were in there. Evidently, Clubhouse is black. Is that right?
I don't know. I hear a lot of honkies on it, but I don't know anything about it. What the hell is Clubhouse? Can you explain it?
So I'm going to explain it through them. So I got Dumb and Dumber telling me. So this is through a filter, but
You got Honey Crisp and Lisp.
so,
That was a stretch.
so
his pants.
I like it. So they were telling me it's like a hang. I guess it's kind of like what are we on right now? Zoom. It's kind of like Zoom, but you have your own room. So you go, this is Mark Norman's clubhouse. And then people go, can I come in? And you go, sure, come in. And you're sitting there, you have a cigar, you talk. But I think it started as black or was predominantly black, and we're taking it over, like the N-word or whatever. But
We're gentrifying the clubhouse.
yeah, so I think it's mostly or started off as black people kind of hanging out and having a good time, and the whites are squeezing in. That's what I was presented it as.
Interesting. Well, from what the wind is blowing, what I keep hearing is everything's going away eventually. So enjoy it all. Get your check. Get your Patreon. Get your dick pic. But it's all going away. I hear podcasting's going away and all this shit. Everybody tries to scare you with the censorship thing.
What do you mean it's going away? Like it's the end?
I talked to all these podcasts. They're like, oh, give it 6 months. They're gonna have a what do you call that thing where you like an algorithmy thing where you say homo. Anybody who said homo into a microphone, they go boop. They find it and they just delete.
Yeah, all these people are a bit paranoid, and I thought you meant like because Sarah keeps telling me Instagram's dead. That's over. You can't make
Really?
it. It's all on TikTok. People are fleeing Instagram or whatever.
Fuck.
But I don't know, because all of us old assholes are still on it. But those people are paranoid. This is what happens, and this is going to be political, so skip ahead. Everyone is a warning. Mildly political. Donald Trump gets kicked off of, Stitcher and Twitter because he's like, hey, the election's fake, it's fake, which, it's not. He went to the Supreme Court, all the evidence. Says it's fake. Hey, you got to go up there and fight like hell. I'm right behind you if you don't fight. And then a riot happens. They kill a cop. They break in. And then so they go, hey, you can't be on here anymore, which, debate away.
Yeah.
But that's not what fucking you and I are doing.
Right.
We're just going, hey, yeah, gays are weird. Woo, blacks.
But I think the argument is it starts there and then it creeps towards us over time.
I guess that's the argument. I could be proven to be wrong, but I feel like we're going to continue to have a podcast for a while.
Hey, let's hope so, because we got some great gays out there, and I got a couple of heartwarming tales about a few twosies.
All right, great. I can't wait. Jim Twosies, and, I can already hear the tweets being like, you liberal cuck piece of shit, but, that's what I think.
Yeah, I hope you're right. I don't like any kind of censorship. I mean, the question is, like, who gets to decide? I get that Twitter is some guy Jack's thing, and he's like, well, if I don't like it, you're out. It's my choice. It's my company. So I get that. But when it's other stuff, and I'm like, they just start pulling stuff away, I'm like, well, why does that get pulled away? And they go, because it's blah, blah, blah. And you're like, yeah, but how come you get to pick? That's what worries me.
Yeah, exactly. It's a slippery slope. I mean, I think if we started a riot, we would be out. But also, while we're talking politics, just so I don't get all the liberal cuck thing, I think if it was a board of liberals, we'd be the first two to go. They would shoot us right in the tits.
No doubt. Well, a couple of cisgender, white, honky, dick, fag, douches, yeah, we're out of there. So, no doubt about it. But, the old adage, everything is hate speech to someone. So if somebody considers hate speech, the other group thinks that's normal, and then what you say about them, they think it's hate speech.
Interesting. I like that. I like that theory. I don't know how old that adage is. How old is that? It feels like a new adage.
I think it's about a year old.
Okay, that's a baby adage.
I guess you never hear about a new adage, so I just threw old on there.
Good point. But yeah, I think I think a lot of these people are pressing the panic button because Trump got thrown off of Twitter, but I think we'll be okay. Plus, there's all kinds of crazy people on Twitter, which a lot of people have brought up. The fucking king of China and the czar of Russia and whoever the fuck, the Burmese twins. So I think it's going to be okay for a while.
Yeah, Bill Burmese. But yeah, all right, I hope you're right. Either way, we probably got a couple years left, but this GameStop thing just shook the whole foundation.
By the way, this is my experience with it. I was in a meeting and a thing, and this guy I was in Clubhouse, and there was this guy telling me about GameStop the day before the news, and he was rambling on and on about GameStop and get this and Robin Hood and the Prince of Thieves. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, I was getting annoyed because I was like, I was like, blah, 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 blah. And then the next day, it was the #1 story in the world. I thought the guy was crazy.
Yeah, wow. He was trying to report. It's like those future movies where the guy goes, I'll tell you this is going to happen. I never goes, all right, you psycho kook. And like, you could have saved the world.
I guess so, but I mean, I'm not in the stocks. I don't have an app, and I hate The Sopranos, so who knows?
Same. I got me and Veter have a couple grand in some stocks. He texts me once a week. I don't answer, and then I call him short, and that's the end of that. But he's a little money Jew, and I respect him, and I think he knows his stuff. So I just gave him my money, and I wish he put it in the AMC or something, but we're up, so I'm not complaining.
So did you get some dough from that? Because I still don't know. I've had 12 different people send me 6 different analogies and the Declaration of Independence. I have no idea what happened.
Yeah, I think I got a grasp on it. Basically, a bunch of Reddit nerds got together and said, well, if we all, like hundreds of them, if we all buy stock in this one, it'll go way up, and then nobody will see it coming, and then we'll just sell it and make a ton of money.
Right. Yeah,
I think that's it.
This is the thing. I don't have even, like, the smallest understanding of the stock market.
I'm with you.
I know a decent amount about a lot of things. I feel like I know some cars, some good on movies, sports, forget about it. I know a lot of sports. Music, I'm pretty good. Comedy, certainly. A little bit of history, some politics.
Sure.
But the stock market, it's just Greek to me. It's more Greek than anal sex to me. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Anal's the most cut and dry thing. I mean, you don't want it dry, but that's or cut. But it's the most obvious A to B. Anal to balls. But stock, the numbers, man. You bring any kind of number into the party, and I just glaze over. I'm out. I'm like Cosby. I'm out. I'm done. I'm a Cosby fan. I can't do anything with numbers. I'm talking stocks or savings or accounts or banks or taxes. I'm out.
Yeah, I can do a batting average. I'm pretty good with batting average. I can figure that out. And I feel for you because I'm like regular math dumb. I'm like I can do arithmetic pretty quickly. I understand some math. But I know you got hit in the head or whatever happened. You got kicked by a mule. You're a math retard. So you must just shit your pants.
I'm a math tard. I can't do it. It hurt me throughout my whole childhood. I mean, unless it's got a 0 behind it or a 5, I'm out. Somebody goes 13 plus 8. I'm like, shit. I can't match them because I'm all at 13 or 15 plus 5. All right, I got you 20. But once you start throwing those odds in there, I'm a goner.
Yeah, odds are not a good quality. So I feel for you. But I have the same thing. I got a retirement thing, an S&P or a Texas A&M, some crazy shit. And
4019, I don't know. Club 40, the spray, I don't know. I'm out.
We got a, what's it called? A fucking accountant. And then he gave me this other guy, Craig. Do you have Craig?
I don't know about Craig.
I got a Craig. I talked to him once 4 years ago. I send him like multi-thousands of dollars every year. I've never spoken to the guy. I don't know where he lives.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. So hopefully something. I don't know. And if I looked, by the way, sorry, go ahead.
He could be on the Ivory Coast on a yacht, with what is it, the Swedish money? What's the neutral one? Swiss Alps, Swiss Bank, all that shit?
Jeez, yeah. I mean, I've only given him like $8,000, so it can't be much. But if I followed it, I might be a fucking walking around in a MAGA hat. If I looked at it, I could have been like, oh, Jesus, I had no idea. I was missing the whole thing.
I know. And look, this is what I hate about the news now is they keep trying to spin this GameStop thing into some kind of, because now that Trump's out and now that BLM doesn't exist for some reason, it's just like, oh, this is a white supremacist. These are all incels, or this is Trump-based. And you're like, no, it isn't. It's just a bunch of fucking nerds who beat the system and just leave it at that. Stop trying to spin it, you cunts.
Oh, see, I missed that part because it's a story that makes me mad. I get mad when I don't understand something. You know what I mean? Where you're playing a card game and someone's trying to teach you and you can't figure it out and you're losing, so you just throw the deck. So I didn't even follow the story. Sometimes there's news stories that I'm like, I can't wait for this to be over. I can't wait for it to pass. It's I've never looked at Reddit. I've never played the stocks. I don't know anything.
Right. You just want it to pass. I don't know. I think this is a altering event. I think this is an inciting incident. This is going to change the course of stocks as we know it.
Oh, interesting. I heard that. We'll see, I guess. But this is my fear, and I don't want to get too off the deep end because we're going to be doing a Tim Dillon show over here. But doesn't it feel? I don't have any faith. I've heard that they're like, this is a huge win for the little guys, and this is going to change things. But I just feel like the big whatever is too big to even be. They'll just change the rules and squash the people down the way it's been throughout history.
I agree, and they probably will, but we're gonna watch it happen. It's the same way with the pandemic, how we saw all the politicians lying and going out to eat and flying over here and there, even though they told you not to do that. Everything is kind of being exposed, and this is just another crack, and some light is coming through. And even though they probably will squash it and find a way to ruin the little guy, this is showing like, oh, there's some chinks, and I don't mean the Asian kind. I'm talking about there's some chinks in the armor.
The armor. What is a chink exactly? It's like a dent?
Yeah, a dent or a nick.
Okay.
I think. Or I don't know, small Asian person on the armor. But either way, it scares the shit out of these old honkies. You know, they're in their suits going, "Wow, this is unbelievable," and you're like, "No, you just get mad because these fucking dweebs beat you."
Right. Yeah. See, I can't follow any of it, but I don't know. It feels like, meet the new boss, same as the old boss. It'll just be whatever. But who knows? I don't know. I'm not smart enough to read it.
Same.
But we better get into some shit here because we're a fucking third of the way through, and I haven't even heard. I don't even know where you are. You got a weird curtain. I know a little bit about what's going on, and I can't wait to hear more. I can tell you this: you're going to be wherever you are for a while.
That is that's a window of a hotel, a Hilton Garden Inn, looking out in the Omaha suburbs. If that helps you, but it's a little dark. But I just got off stage at 2 shows, and but so much to talk about. We'll start from the beginning. Can I throw this one at you there, Fatty?
Yeah, stick it in my ass.
So this skateboard company hit me up. This like skateboard vlog and podcast and all that, and they go, "Hey, we like your comedy. We heard you used to skateboard." I said, "Hell yeah, it was my whole life before comedy." And they said, "Well, can we do a interview with you, and we'll go out into the skate park, and film you doing skate tricks?" And I was like, "Oh, dude, I'm 37. I'm a bag of bones. I'm rusty. I'm gay. I can't do anything." And they said, "Well, it'll be funny." And I'll go, "Oh, yeah, fuck it. It'll be funny." So I go out and meet this kid at 11 a.m. at the fucking skate park in East Village. He's got a board for me. He's got a guy with a video camera. I started skating. I ripped it up. It was great.
Ooh.
We got it all on film.
Now, he had the board, you said?
He brought his board, yeah.
Okay, so do you have a deck at home, or what's going on with your skateboard situation?
I don't. I have one at my parents' house, I guess. I got a stack of them from, the 80s that I used to rip it up on. But no, I don't have one out here because I never really needed one. I had one in New York, and I broke it within like the first couple months. That was in like 2008. And I never bought a new one because I don't ride.
Now, let me ask, do you have the fever? Are you back? Are you feeling it?
No. I mean, my back hurt for 3 days after. My leg hurt. I pulled a groin. My pussy's bleeding. I mean, it was bad. But I'll tell you, it all clicked back in. But I used up a lot of goodwill, if you will. Like I was hurting days after, super sore. I didn't stretch. I showed a couple of pipsqueaks up. I'll tell you that. But it hurt later. I paid for it.
That's a good feeling. I mean, I think you should get back involved and go full bore. You're in showbiz, so you got to be tip top. So get some elbow pads, some knee pads, a head pad, and a maxi pad. I say get out there. You know what I mean? Don't worry about your image. Get some of the, because I know the pads are uncool, if I'm not mistaken.
Very uncool. But that's the thing, is it's a young man's anal, because you slip backwards on a rail, I mean, you're done for. Especially at my age, I crack a vertebrae or chip a dick or whatever it is, like it's over. Like back then, you could just pop back up with a bum knee and walk it off. But we're getting old.
So where can the people find the video? Where can I find this video?
Well, it was actually from that video we made in Washington Square Park. Remember I did the kickflip?
Oh yeah, Hershon.
Yes, that's where he saw me. He's like, "Oh, I saw that kickflip," and I said, "I'm going to give you a call," but it's not finished yet. We shot it on Wednesday, so I think they're going to put it together. But it was a rush to get back out there and strap it on again. It was freezing cold, and I took a few mean spills and got some high fives from the local kids. It was fun.
Good for you. Yeah, my wife strapped one on the other day, and that was fun too. And I'm sore as well, but glad to hear it. And just hearing about it makes me excited. You know, I met Tony Hawk. Did we ever talk about
What?
this? Back in
Get
the
outta
day,
here.
met him. I blew him. He came to all the guys. There was some guy named Steve who was good. For some reason, I had like a crush on him. He was sexy, but they came.
Gutenberg.
No, it was Steve something. He had black hair. He was cool. Well, we talked about my Radical shirt. How did I forget this? Oh my God, that Radical shirt, which everyone sent me on Instagram. I appreciate it, and Twitter. It got autographed. I had it autographed by all the skate clowns. Yeah, they all came to Bike Barn in Whitman, Massachusetts, which was like this huge bike shop. We had like the bike shop, but it was like a skate shop also. It started as a bike shop, but of course, late 80s, early 90s, it was skateboard fucking craze. So they had to throw a bunch of skateboards in there. And I got into skateboards for 6 hours because that's what everyone was into. That was like the thing.
Right.
So I had to go get a skateboard. I got the Radical. And then they came and did a show at Bike Barn. There was like a half pipe, and there was like 1,000 people there. Or maybe there was 500, or maybe there was 10,000. I have no idea. I was a kid. But we went and watched the show. I was with Ron Reynolds. We had a great time. I think we were in the front row, like up against the railing. And then it was like a meet and greet afterwards. We all met, and they signed my shirt, and Tony Hawk was one of them. I don't remember the rest of them.
Wow, that's crazy. I wonder if it was Steve Barra.
Maybe. I mean, if you named guys, they were probably there, because it was Tony Hawk and like whoever was on the tour.
Well, I wonder if it was the Birdhouse tour that he was on that team, but he had black hair, maybe to here, kind of shaggy.
I don't really remember. I mean, this was 30 years ago now, but for some reason I was like, because you know when you're a kid, or maybe this is just life, but I'm like, I don't want to go for Tony Hawk. Everyone loves Tony Hawk. I'll pick out, I like this guy.
Yeah.
And I had no reason. It was just like, that was the guy. It wasn't Tony Hawk.
Well, Tony Hawk, to a lot of the real skaters, he's like a Bob Hope or something, where you're like, oh, yeah, he's the famous one, but I don't know if he's the cool, like, you want to like Louis or Burr or Rock or somebody. That's your guy. But he's like the face of skateboarding. He's mainstream, he's cute, he's clean, he's, got kids and everything. So he wasn't our favorite, but he is the most famous.
Right. It's like Kelly Slater's like the guy in surfing. He's the guy everyone knows, but then there's probably, Pete Incaviglia or whatever.
Right, yeah, exactly. Like everybody's like, oh, Ray Romano, huh? He's amazing. You're like, well, actually, Dave Attell's better. And they're like, who? And you're like, yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's the same shit.
Interesting. Well, that memory just shot into my asshole, but that's cool. I'm excited to see it when it's out. Fucking throw it around. I got to see this.
I can't wait. I mean, I felt it was one of those things where I landed it and I was like, I'm so glad that's on tape because no one will believe me and it'll never happen again.
Now, could you drop into a half pipe if you had to? What would happen?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, I had one in my backyard. I mean, a mini one, but we built one.
But I'm talking now, 20 years later. If you dropped it, would you swoop over to the other side, or would you skid around, or what would happen?
It'd be a little sloppy. I mean, I'd be going, whoa. I'd have a fanny pack on and a high C going, but I think I could pull it off without falling.
Could you go down, up, off the ramp and land back on the ramp?
No, that's next level crazy shit.
Okay.
I was a street guy.
The street guys. Well,
Yes.
You should come to Astoria Park sometimes. We have like the best skate park in the city, right down the street from my house. We could come, and I'll shoot it, and then we'll blow each other.
Oh, that's not bad. Maybe you bring the ukulele.
The mandolin.
Ah, shit, I do that.
Jesus. Ukulele.
I made it more gay.
My God.
Yeah.
That's hurtful. I don't know if I can go on through the pod here.
Bring the violin. All right. Well, what are you cooking with over there?
Well, I'm cooking with semen as always, but hey, I want to tell everyone a couple things. Stop the pod right now. If you haven't already, go join the Patreon. You're going to get the video on YouTube a week early, and you're going to get all the bonuses. We've done at least one bonus a week throughout the entire pandemic. I don't know how many weeks that is, 45 weeks or something. We got every single live episode on there, and you get the YouTube a week early so you can write, whatever you want on the comments before it comes out. And what else is on there? We got the Seinfeld behind the scenes. We got Curb Your Enthusiasm commentary. One Will and Grace that was kind of silly, but that was fun. We got Stranger by the Lake. That's up your ass. So go join the Patreon. It's the best Patreon in town.
Great. The live eps alone are worth it. I mean, like full houses at the Village Underground, the Hollywood Improv, the Fat Black Pussycat with like Michelle Wolf, Ari Shafir, Nikki Glazer, Bert Kreischer. Just some killer stuff. So yeah, you're missing out if you're not on it. And let's try to do the other thing we mentioned.
What is that?
If you join the Patreon, and whoever has the funniest name, we will give you a shout out on the queef.
Big shout out. So come up with a good fake gay name. 69 assholes tied in a knot.
Right, and make it funny because we're gonna talk about it and queef it out and shout it out.
Yeah, so join up and do that today, right now.
Yeah.
And also, if you're starting to smell a little bit, summer's right around the corner. It's January.
Oh yeah.
Tuesdays with Stories is brought to you by Native Deodorant. Native's aluminum-free deodorant is a great addition to your 2021 routine. I love Native deodorant. That's what I reach for as soon as I get out of the shower. I take a nice soapy shower, wash my face, wash my balls. Then you got to put deodorant on. By the way, a few times this year I forgot to put deodorant on because it's weird times, and my wife is like, get out of bed, you smell like a bag of turds.
Yeah.
But I don't if I get Native deodorant. They care about what you put in your armpits. That's why their deodorant ingredients list includes things you've actually heard of, like coconut oil and shea butter. And another plus is that none of their products are tested on animals, and almost everything is vegan. You know that. You know about this stuff, Mark, don't you?
Love the Native. I use it. The lady uses it. We keep a couple around just because they smell nice. They feel nice. They got different options. They're sensitive on the skin. All plastic free. You know it. You love it. Try a little. And check out the rotating seasonal scents. Make the switch to Native today by going to nativedeo.com/stories. They changed it up. Or use promo code STORIES at checkout and get 20% off your first order. That's nativedeo.com/stories, or use promo code STORIES at checkout for 20% off your first order. Native deodorant. Take care of your bod.
That's right. And Tuesdays with Stories is also brought to you by Raycon. Everybody, you're doing a lot of time. You're spending a lot of time watching movies, I'm sure, TV shows, talking on the phone, FaceTiming with the family. I know you're doing a lot of it. You got to have some of the best earbuds around. Get Raycon wireless earbuds. Oh, Jesus Christ on acid. We'll clip that. Get yourself some Raycon earbuds. I'll tell you why I love earbuds. No dangling wires or stems to get in your way here. You're always knocking the other ones out. Raycons come in a range of stylish colors, but always with a comfortable in-ear fit for your most discreet look. Very discreet.
Yes.
Great stuff. Raycons are built to perform anywhere and anytime with water and sweat-resistant construction and Bluetooth that pairs quickly and seamlessly. I know you love Raycons, Mark.
Love a Raycon, and I would say used them for a while. Some of the best battery life out there. Big fan. I used to put them in all day, every day, jogging, working out. I put them in while I snooze, and the sound is just top notch. I love it. Raycon's offering 15% off all their products for our listeners, and here's what you got to do to get it. Go to buyraycon.com/Tuesdays. That's it. You'll get 15% off your entire Raycon order. So feel free to grab a pair and a spare. That's 15% off at buyraycon.com/Tuesdays. One more time, buyraycon.com/Tuesdays. Thank you.
All right. I got to ask you about this. Now, this is a story / a pickle that I was in, and I got to hear your input, your feeling, because you're a wise man. I don't think you get the credit for the wisdom.
I have never heard wisdom. Why? I have wisdom teeth are removed, so this is a new one.
Well, you're not smart, but I feel like you're wise.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it.
So what do you think of this? What do you feel about this? Let me put a little something in your ass and see if your cock moves. So,
all right, hit me.
You're a New Yorker. Many of our listeners are not New Yorkers, so let me just explain something you know about. There's like, when you come home, there's always grocery flyers in your doorway or on the thing. There's people that go around, these stores, I guess, the grocery stores, the whatever stores, they hire little Mexican kids to walk around with pieces of paper, and they just stuff them in your mailbox. They put them in your foyer. They put them on your fence, your door. They're just everywhere. They stick them in your window, and it's just trash. And then it blows around the city. It's everywhere. I don't know anyone that's ever fucking used these things.
Not once. Maybe to blow your nose, wipe your ass, or jizz in, but that's about it.
They're not even coupons. They're just like milk, $80 or whatever.
Right. Pot roast, 89 cents a pound.
So they're everywhere in the city. It's an epidemic, and I've never seen anyone putting them there. They're just always there. So you wake up, and they're in your ass. They're on your wife's tits. They're just all the time. I'm wallpapered with this shit.
Yeah.
So the other day, for the first time in my whole life living in New York, 14 years, and I see a kid putting them in the fence in front of my apartment.
Ah.
And so he's like getting ready to do it. He's putting them on. And I say, hey, you can just give them to me. Just give them to me. And the guy like hands me one. He's like, hands me one. And I have a resentment to this guy because I hate that just garbage and shit everywhere.
Yes.
And in my mind, I'm taking it out on him. So he hands me one, and I just kind of I fold it. And then he keeps putting them in the little fence, like 3 of them. And I go, yeah, I'll take. So I'll just take them. He's like, no. I can't understand what he's saying.
Well, he's trying to get paid.
Exactly. So he takes a step away, and I just go, and I just rip them all out of the fence because they're trash. Nobody wants them.
No, nobody.
So I think, he's gone. He's left. He's done his deed. I just go, and he hears him. He's like, and he's like yelling at me, and I'm like, I'd fold it immediately because I want, in my mind, I'm like, this is garbage. You're putting trash here. I don't want it. No soliciting. But I folded immediately. I was like, I'm bringing it to my roommates. I'll bring it to them. I'm holding the thing there.
Pretty
and
good.
I'm like, they check. I think he was trying to say they check to see if they put him there. So he'll get in trouble. And I was like, okay, I don't want you to get in trouble. I'll put him back. And he's like, no, fine. But my thing is, what do you mean they check? Like, they're put there so someone will take them in the house, right? So if they come by, it'll just seem like we brought them in the house.
Good point.
So then I was like, I'll put them in the... Meanwhile, they're all crumpled up in my hand, like obviously trash. And I was like, I'm going to give them to my people.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, fine. Oh, and he's like all disheveled. And I felt terrible because I realized, he's just working for 8 cents an hour.
Right.
I shouldn't be taking it out on him. And then I went inside and I put them on the mailbox.
Ah.
But then I assumed the neighbors are like, why is there trash in here?
Of course.
So what do you think? Am I a bad person? Am I a decent person? What would you do?
I think it's a tough one because that's why a lot of these snazzy buildings, they'll put like no menus, no whatever. And so they just don't want it because they know it's all trash. But yeah, I think this guy's an idiot. I think his boss is an idiot. And they're just like, yeah, this is what you do. And it's like, no, everything's online now. Nobody looks at those. I think in the 40s, you went, oh, how much is milk now? How much is an egg? But I think that's over. And I don't think they realize that. But what a waste of paper. What a waste of ink. What a waste of manpower or person power. It's just such a piece of shit move. And so I'm with you.
But it's hard, though, because then once you're face-to-face with the guy, he's like, hey, I'm trying to make a living here. I don't give a fuck. He was just told he's going to get sent back to, Ecuador if he doesn't put these things here. So I did feel bad for him because I had this human face-to-face moment, and I allowed 10 years of resentment of these flyers to come out.
Right.
And he's just a little guy, whatever, sticking him in a fence. But I also didn't understand why I couldn't just throw him away because I don't want him.
Yeah, no, that is a tough one. I'm with you because they're so worthless, and you see them all over New York City, and they're a pain in the ass.
And my thing is like, sorry, you go ahead.
You're cutting out the middleman.
But my thing is like, well, what do you care? You did your job. Now I live here. I'm picking them up and throwing them away. And if you had been 100 yards down the street, you wouldn't even have known I crumpled them up and threw them away.
Yeah, that's true. It's mental. I think he put it there. He saw you rip it off. He's like, hey, I just did that. You're ruining my shit. But if he's not even there and can't see it, he doesn't know it. But I think it's a mental thing. Like, hey, I just put that there.
Yeah, he took it personally, I guess. It probably felt insulting to his pride, his ego. So I felt bad. So, I ran down the street and I blew him. But
well, that is tough. That's a good question. That's a very curbish predicament.
Yeah, it was a strange predicament, but I think I handled it okay. And I'll just tell you about this real quick because I know you got a lot. You're out in the middle of nowhere. You got a lot of gigs, but
Go. I've been hogging.
I got to tell you, I did a gig. I think you did it back in the summer. Liz from the Cellar hit me up and said, hey, we got a show at the Village Underground. Do you want to come do it? Now, I got a confession to make that I've never told the general public in my whole life. This is a big moment.
Oh, boy. We got an exclusive.
This is an exclusive. I should put it on the Patreon. So I've gone this whole time. The pandemic's been going on 10 months. I've managed to go the entire thing without being tested.
I love it. I love it.
My plan was to go the whole thing because I can't have something put in my nose, Jerry. I can't.
I get it. And this is not just the nose. This is a fucking NBA player poking into an Asian virgin.
Brutal. I mean, like, I'd rather have a dick in my ass again than have this nose thing. I can't even see it on video. They show the commercial or whatever the fuck, the footage, and everyone talk. Daniel Simonson, by the way, one of the great comics, has an amazing bit about the test.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's so funny. But so that guy's fantastic. Everyone check him out. He's from Norway.
Killer comic.
Great comic. But so he's got a bit about it. So I almost didn't do the show because I like the idea of going this whole time without getting tested. I know I'm a bad person. I'm a bad American. But B, I'm like, it makes me throw up when I see the test. I can't even, I've heard the stories. You told me this horror story. Liz is telling me the horror story, the whole thing. And everyone just assumes I've been tested a bunch because I've been traveling a lot. But I haven't felt sick. I've been fine. And Sarah got tested a couple times and we fuck in the tits. So I hadn't been tested. So I'm like freaking out. I said yes to the gig. It's an indoor gig. They do the rapid test. It's at the Village Underground. Last time I was there was to shoot my special.
Wow.
So I'm like, all the comedy clubs, we love all these clubs, Comedy on State and everything. But the Cellar is what I really miss. That brick wall, low ceiling, basement, reverberating, Liz, the hang, the food.
Right.
Val, Kramer, the butler. Yeah. So I'm like, I got to do it. And it's a killer lineup. Donnelly, Ronan Hirschberg, Jackie Fabulous, Daniel Simonson, Yamanika. Killer lineup.
Yep.
Mike Rowland. And so we go there. I'm like shitting my pants. And Donnelly, that pimple, he's all nervous too. He's like, is it up the nose? And we're texting. I finally found someone else that's a big coward like me. So we're like bonding. I get there. I'm so anxious. I'm freaking out. And everyone else is nervous about the show. I don't give a fuck about the show. I'm just worried about getting a tube stuck up my ass. Then I see Donnelly. This move, I'm still mad at this son of a bitch. He comes up to me and I'm like, oh God, I'm nervous. I'm so glad you're here. We can hold each other's hands. We can kiss. And he's like, I got mine earlier. I'm hosting, so I had to be here early. And I was like, how was it? And he puts his hand on my shoulder. He's like, it's bad. It's really bad.
Oh, that's the worst.
And he's like, she went so far up. It's so brutal. And I'm turning like white. I'm like, I can't do it. I'm literally gonna leave. I felt like the Cowardly Lion when he fucking dives out the window.
Right.
And then Donnelly's like, I can't do it to you. I'm fucking with you. I'm appalled.
What?
He's fucking with me. He's like, it wasn't that bad. I'm just kidding. But
all right.
I'm so livid. I'm like, we were vulnerable together.
That's great news.
No, I made myself vulnerable. He was vulnerable. We were the cowards together. And then he gets it early and fucks with me. I'm like, this goes against everything that we're supposed to be together in this.
Oh, I thought you'd be ecstatic. I thought you'd be relieved.
Oh, I was livid. I wanted to fight him.
But how was it?
Not bad at all. And here's the great part. So, and we've talked about this before, and this is a topic on Mindful Metal Jacket quite a bit too, is you build up the anxiety in your head, and then when it's time to go, you're just there. There's nothing to do. You just sat there. She stuck it up my ass or nose and did a couple spins. It's over in 5 seconds. Not bad. And this made me feel good. Ronan Hirschberg, who's had like 40 of these, and he has a good theory. He's like, I think people that did blow have less problem with it because he did a ton of coke, if you can believe that.
Ah, interesting.
So afterwards, after everyone got the test, he was like, I got to be honest. He's like, that's one of the worst ones I've had. He's like, that's like closer to the worst. So I've had one, and Ronan was like, that's worse than normal.
Yes,
and I was fine.
agree.
So it really made me feel like I'm fine. I'm just a big cunt.
Well, it's all into. Don't you have a quote for that? Some Zen AA gay thing? If you worry, you're scurry or whatever.
Something like that. Well, there's the great Mark Twain. I've suffered a great many hardships in my life, most of which never happened.
That's it.
That's a fun one, and there's a few others. Check out Mindful Metal Jacket. Nobody listens to it. For God's sake, please listen. I'm doing hours and hours of work on this thing, and nobody cares. But anyways, check that out.
It's no joke. I mean, I did it, and it hurt. And they do it twice.
Yeah, well, this one was just the one. It was 1 and 3 spins. She did and I was doing the thing, too, where I'm like, I'm the biggest coward, please. I hate myself. My father never hugged me. My mother's, mean. And it took 10 seconds. It wasn't so bad. But anyways, so then you go downstairs. Everybody's cleared. And we did the show. And it was just magical. It was streaming to 1,000 people. Take a guess which Seinfeld guest star was watching and messaged me to say it was great.
Ooh, I'm going to go with Mickey the Midget.
No, I wish.
Damn, because he does stand up a little.
I'll give you a hint. She has a spectacular body part.
Terry Hatcher?
Terry Hatcher was watching the show, and she messaged. She's like, I was on the treadmill. I was dying. You're great. Couldn't believe it. Terry Hatcher. I could be dating an Oscar winner, Jerry.
Oh, my God. I had the hugest crush on her. That's amazing. That's Lois from Lois and Clark. Terry Hatcher, the Desperate Housewives, the whole thing. That's incredible.
Pretty exciting. And we messaged back and forth a few times. I said, hey, I'm not exactly thrilled with my wife. And she said, hey, I know the feeling. And I said, do you like skateboards? And
oh, my God. Hatcher.
I made up the part about the skateboards, but the rest is true. Very exciting.
Wow.
But what a night. I mean, I went on there, and I haven't felt alive like that in so long because you're in the basement, the bricks, the thing. And again, that's where they shot the special, and there's beautiful, exciting people. And it was just killer, and I was riffing, and then and everybody fucking killed. And to sit in the back and watch like 7 stand-ups in a row, and it just felt like the old days. It was bittersweet because it felt sad also because you're like, God, I want to do this every night to hang in the back with 4 and you're like, have you done this bit? Have you ever heard this bit? This is crazy. Oh, my God, she's so funny. He's so funny. And Daniel Simonson really blew me away. That guy is like unbelievable. But I haven't watched any stand-up in a year, and you forget how fun it is.
Yeah, he's a tough follow. I hope he didn't go out. He's a tough actor because he's like an 80s comic where he just fucking rips. Like the room comes apart, and then you got to go up there and go, Uber, huh? He's doing another thing.
Yeah, so funny. And Ronan was on. I went after Ronan, who's another killer.
Yeah.
And everybody just killed. It was so fun to watch. So fun to be in that basement again, and Liz. And I just wanted to hug everybody and make out with them. And who knows? And then afterwards, I heard that those rapid tests have like 30% false negatives. So then I was like, oh, Jesus, I'm probably going to die. But I'm fine. And great night, special night. And hey, Terry, what's up? I love you.
Terry Snatcher. I mean, that's lunch. I'm wildly jealous. That's incredible. And she's on the treadmill, too, which is somehow even hotter. I just picture her in like a leotard and a dildo up her ass. Oh, God. So hot.
I'll put in a good word.
Thank you. Wow, that's a killer night. Yeah, just it's funny how that was so normal, and now it's like this special treat.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the part you missed because like I've done a bunch of shows. I was in Royersford, which was great, and all these gigs, and Shafi's got a bunch of gigs and good stuff, and I did Foxborough and yada yada. I'm in Key West next week, but that feeling of like, hey, everyone's been tested, so we're all good to go. And then the seller, because you're with 7 comics. It's not just you're watching some local dick and whoever you brought. It's like, oh, this guy, that guy, that girl. Right. And it's so fun. And like I said, we're eating fries in the back and chips and just a good time. To walk down those stairs felt so fun.
The only problem, that show is great, and Liz is the best and puts on a hell of a show, yada, yada. But my problem was the one I did was in a warehouse kind of nightclubby place, and the audience sucked. It was in Tribeca. It was like hot people and models, so, they never laugh. So I think you had the better one because mine was exciting. I'm hanging out with Chris D and Mateo, and Kirsten is there. We're all busting balls. And then the show wasn't great. So it's kind of this weird bummer.
Oh, our show was awesome, man. It was really great. Now I want to wrap this up because we're running out of time here, and I want to hear because I know you got some tales going there.
I got crazy. I'm gonna fly through them, and please jump in because there's a lot of kooky facts and factoids and gays. So I'm gonna give you the whole kit and caboodle.
Please.
All right, just a little overview here. Thursday night, Kansas City Improv. Friday night, Des Moines, 2 shows. Saturday, Des Moines, 2 shows. Sunday, Omaha, 2 shows. So you fly into KC, which is a cunt of a flight. You got eight layovers, 6 U-Hauls, 1 bus, an AirTran, and a Tran-E. And you finally get to Kansas City. Then you got to get the rental car because you got to be driving for 3 days.
Right.
So I go get the rental car, yada, yada, yada. And the lady's nice. Everybody's got a mask on, plexiglass. She gives me the piece of paper you need. I go out to meet old George, old black guy. He's a super sweet guy, Kansas City. Hey, I'm George. Well, he's got a bit of a limp and a hunch. And he goes, excuse me, sir, they didn't put the type of car on there. And I go, oh, I think it was a compact. I just get the cheapest piece of shit they have. And he's like, I can't help you unless you get the thing written. The lady's got to write on there compact. And I was like, jeez. So I got to run back in. And the lady goes, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. I never make a mistake in my life. Here you go. Because I made a mistake, I'm upgrading you.
Ooh.
And I go, oh, all right, whatever. You know, I'm fine with a Dodge Dart or Spark or butt plug, whatever it is. So I go back out to George, and he goes, oh, okay, you got a nice luxury midsize. And I go, ooh. So he goes, anything from out of this thing? And I go, but it's a Hyundai and an Elantra and a Camaro or a Corolla or whatever it is. And then, in the glistening light, ping, I see the Dodge Charger.
Ooh.
And you get that fucking Tim Allen 90s thing going like, you start feeling like masculine. Your testosterone starts pumping. You go, fuck it. Give me the Charger. I jump in that thing. Boy, that thing cooks. I peeled out. It was like a 3-hour drive, or it was like a 20-minute drive to the hotel, but I did Kansas City. It was great. Hot show. Next day, I couldn't wait to get in that fucking bitch and drive off to Des Moines, which is like 3 hours. And that thing moves, baby. Boy, it was a thrill.
Now, what are we talking? Black? Is it orange? Yellow? What are we talking?
It was like a sexy, blacky, gray kind of thing. You know, they got those weirdo fusion interracial colors, and that thing moved. I was like going 90 in 2 seconds. The pickup and the gas mileage is pretty good, too. And I was just whizzing down. I passed everybody. I was zigging and zagging. I felt like Griswold out there, you know, in like a nice car, just tearing up the Midwest road.
You know, my uncle's got a 66 Charger. We ever talked about this?
Woo, that's a sweet little cherry there.
It's unbelievable. Jet black. It's the exact car in the movie Big Fish. If you ever saw Big Fish, there's his red. He's got the red one. My uncle has the black one. And I'll just tell a quick tale. He's had it since he was 21 years old. It's his baby. He restored it, the whole thing. And years ago, like 20 years ago, he sold it to a guy. And the guy, he's like, I'm going to go get the cash. I'll be right back. He came with the cash in his hand. My Uncle Brian said, I can't do it. I'm sorry. I fucked up. And the guy understood. He's like, I totally get it. He's like, not a problem. He's like, I'm really serious. He's like, I totally get it. Not a problem. He's like, I couldn't believe you were selling this to me. And my uncle was like, he was going to cry. Like the guy, and if the guy had the cash, it would have been a done deal. He had to go get it. And he was sitting there being like, I can't do it. And my cousin, his son bought a 67. So they have a 66 and a 67.
Well, I like the 69, but that's a beautiful story. It was almost meant to be. You know, it was fate.
Fate, baby. All right, so you take it to, don't tell me, Des Moines.
Yes, Des Moines, which I don't even know what that means. I think that's French for shit town, or there's nothing to do there, or white people. But either way, I'm in Des Moines. Funny Bone, one of the good Funny Bones. And we sell it all out because there's, 8% capacity. And I got this kid, Ari, killer feature. Like, one of those rare features that you just never heard of. It just fucking murders it. Ari Mans, I think. Oh, first of all, KC. So they go, who do you want to open? I go, I don't know, whoever, some local guy. I want to throw a local guy a bone. And they go, well, here's a list of a bunch of local guys with links. And I'm like, I don't want to watch all these local tapes. So I open one of them. It's a guy in a suit, probably a little older guy, in a suit, looking sharp, at doing one of those dry bars, killing. So I go, perfect. He's got jokes. He's killing. Book him. And I get there. I show up. This guy's 65 years old. He's dressed like Eminem. He's got a hat to the side with a flat brim. He's got a leather jacket on, a amped up T-shirt. What do you call it? Tap out. He's got a fucking tight pants that are camouflage. I go, what the hell are you doing? He goes, what are you kidding? It's a bunch of kids out there. I got to fit in. I go, that's 35-year-old idiots out there. It's a bunch of guys in hoodies and sneakers. And he goes, oh, no, I don't know about this shit. He goes out there and eats his lunch. He tried to be hip, but it blew it. He blew it. But cute guy, sweet guy. He had a business card and a couple of VHS tapes he was selling. But Des Moines, I got this kid Ari. He's an LA kid, opens for Theo, opens for Santino. Funny guy, really great act. And here's the clinker. Mm-hmm. This guy shows up, looks just like Javier Bardem, but like younger and more normal. And he goes to the lady, to the manager, goes, hey, can I do a guest set? And she was like, Jesus, well, you just show up and expect a guest set? And he's like, oh, I understand, but I opened for Greg Warren a month ago at the Omaha Funny Bone. I like Norman. I figure, hey, I'll come by and do a guest set for him. And she goes, oh, you open for Greg Warren? Okay, we love Greg Warren. We know Greg Warren. And Colleen runs the Funny Bone there, so if she likes you, then I like you. But let me check with Mark. And he goes, yeah, of course. So she comes in the green room, and I'm chopping it up with Ari, and she goes, it's a guy out there, says he owns for Greg Warren. You want him to do a guest set. And I'm immediately like, you ever heard of the guy? She's like, no. And I'm nervous because I've been burned.
Sure.
Too many times. And I like to give out stage time, and I get it. It's hard to come by, especially in a pandemic, but something's fishy. This guy just shows up. So she goes, all right, hold on. Let me text Colleen, the manager of the Omaha Funny Bone. So Colleen, she's like, hey, this guy's here. He said he opened for Greg Warren. She goes, never heard of him.
Ooh, interesting.
And I said, well, let me text Greg Warren. So I go, hey, this guy's at the Funny Bone. They said he opened for you. Never heard of him.
Wow. Dirty.
So now the manager is pissed. And she's like, is this guy fucking lying to me? And I was like, yeah, maybe he is. And then the feature goes, well, look, I'm going up cold. It's a two-man show. Why don't you let him do 5 in front of me? And that way I'll have a host anyway, and he can take 5 minutes of my time. And we were like, all right, yeah, because we're kind of curious.
Sure.
So he goes up, has a rough one, and now she's steaming. She's like, not only did this guy lie to me, but he just kind of had a rough set. Fuck this guy. And he gets off stage. She chews him out, kicks him out of the club, says, don't ever come back. You're dead to me. And he's like, what? No, I swear to God. And he's gone. Then her phone, ping, Colleen. You know what? I do remember that guy.
What?
Then my phone pops up. Greg Warren. Yeah, no, that's the guy. I know that guy. Tall guy, dark hair. And I said, yeah, they just chewed him out, kicked him out of comedy. He'll never work again. So.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Poor guy. Boy, not a memorable guy, I guess.
They fired him, and apparently they called him the next day and apologized. But the guy's having a rough week.
Jesus. And so, but is it one of those things, too, where like afterwards you kind of, in retrospect, you're like, actually, he did pretty well.
Yeah, maybe.
Like,
he did okay.
Get a few laughs? It's pretty funny.
He did okay, actually. I mean, some stuff hit, some stuff didn't, but we were just staring at this guy like he was an enigma. Except he was white. But
I was about to make the same joke.
Sorry. So Des Moines was great, whatever. Get out of Des Moines, wake up in Des Moines, go straight to Omaha in the Charger. 2-hour drive, did it in like a 1 hour and 40, going 90 the whole way. Get to the Omaha Funny Bone. Mike Cronin's opening. You gotta love Mike. Great time, great fun, great club. Do 2 shows, 3 o'clock and a 6 o'clock. The fucking sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the cows are humping, and we do 2 shows. Now here's the clinker again. I'm doing a little meet and greet, little kind of thing after. Try to keep safe. Hi, hello, maybe a fist bump. This one gal comes up with a big tube with a bow on it. And I go, oh, what's this? She goes, oh, I got a surprise for you. And I go, oh, boy. And I shake it. It's got some weight to it. What the hell's this? And, you immediately feel bad. You're like, you don't have to bring me this shit. I feel bad. Just thanks for coming. But whatever. So she goes, open it. I go, all right. Pop it open. Pull it out. You'll never guess in a million years what this is.
All right, well, I'm thinking poster because it's a tube, so it's a poster tube. You're saying no to the poster.
Well, I'm saying heft. A lot of heft.
Okay, it's heft.
Wait.
It feels dildo-y because it's got to be cylinderish. It's got to be Cinderella, and it's got some weight. So maybe it's a strap-on, perhaps?
Well, I guess you could use it for that. So I put my hand in. This is a long tube. This is like 4 feet or whatever. I pull it out. Now, this is for the real gays out there. Many episodes ago, maybe even many years ago, I did the Cleveland Hilarities Club, and if you sell out the shows, they give you a baseball bat.
Yes.
With your name engraved in it, and the club and all that, and the people, the owner, whatever. And it's like a nice bat with some time and effort put into it. I brought it to the airport, and they go, yeah, you can't bring this on a plane. It's a weapon. I go, what the fuck are you going to do? This is an expensive, nice bat. They go, you're going to have to throw it out or check it. And I was already late, so I said, just keep it. Just keep the fucking thing. And she said, I'm throwing it out. And I said, ah. So some twat took that bat and put it on eBay.
What?
Yes. And this gal, this sweet little lady, found it on eBay, bought it, and brought it to the show.
The bat? The original bat.
The bat.
What?
Batman.
How did she get it? Is there a TSA person or something? I mean, I want to know how she got this. Who was the eBay bitch?
I think it's a TSA whore.
Oh my God, this is insane. This is like a mystery wrapped in an enigma. I mean, this should be an HBO special, or an HBO thing, the TSA lady bat. I mean, this is wild.
This is a true crime, Alex Gibney docu-series. I mean, the twists and turns, that bat's been all over the Midwest.
Wow. God bless it. What did she pay for it, may I ask?
I think she paid $150.
$150. Okay, wow. I mean, that's probably undervalue, really, if you think about it, because it's not signed by you. It's signed by the club.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question, but here's the rub. I go, hey, this is very sweet. You're a fucking hero. I love you. I'll blow you, but I can't bring this on the plane again.
Right. Well, can't you check it, though, if you're not late or something? Because you haven't flown yet.
Good point. But can you check just that, or does it have to be in a bag?
That's a good question, Aguado. I mean, because I can't picture a bat and balls sliding down that thing when you get there.
Be sliding all around the bottom of the plane. You'd hear it in the cabin. But she goes, I thought of that. This is such a sweet lady. She's like, I thought of that. I'll ship it to you. And I'm like, well, now you're getting $150 for the bat, then the shipping's gonna be $50, and you're down $200 now, and you're spending all your time on my fucking bat that I'll probably put on a mantle and put up my ass once in 10 years. But she's like, give me your address, and now she has my address, and she's sending the bat over.
Wow, that is exciting. And let's see if something else happens, because if it's like a Seinfeld, there'll be one more incident. You know, the UPS guy will be gay, or he'll trip, or whatever.
Yeah, he'll get into a fight, and he'll have to pull the bat out and beat the hoodlums off with it, and then it'll have a whole nother story. So, yeah, who the hell knows? But shout out to that lady. We hugged. She said, thank you. I'm a Tuesday. She had a Tuesday shirt. I love your comedy. I love Joe. I love the pod. You're putting so much joy into the world. She started crying. I didn't know what to do. God. I hugged her. I had to put the fire out. And, so she's a fucking mensch and the gay of the week.
Wow, no kidding. Yeah, I don't even have a candidate for gay of the week. I mean, buys the bat on eBay. This is insane. I figured that bat was, up someone's ass and over and out, but
around the corner. Yeah, same. I mean, it went from TSA, the garbage barrel at the fucking Cleveland airport, to her bedroom where she probably lubed it up and sat on it for a week, and then bam, comedy club.
Wow, I mean, that is amazing. So you got to do something special with that thing. I use mine all the time around the house because I'm one of these guys that's always pretending to be hitting. I'm hitting the game-winning home run every day over here, and sometimes I flip it around and I'm playing guitar. So mine's like all worn out in the handle. It's gold. I've rubbed gold all over my hand, and it's all worn out because I use it all the time. I love it. It says, here's to Tuesdays with Stories. We love you.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, I'm going to use it too then. I'm going to fuck around with it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Maybe we should take pictures we'll do like the Bash Brothers. This McGuire and Jose Canseco had that poster that all the girls beat off to. That'd be fun.
I love it. Back-to-back bets.
We'll be the Gash brothers and have, pussies, something.
I'm into it. All right. Gash it up. So, yeah, thanks to her. Thanks to all you kooks out there and queefs out there. We got a lot of Patreon stuff cooking. We're going to fuck you. We're doing another Seinfeld up. We invented it. Blow me. And we'll keep doing some Curbs and some Twinks and some other stuff. So get on the Patreon. Send us in your funny name. We'll read it out. We'll give you a shout out. The funnier, the better. And, tell a friend. Get on board. Hyenas are done. We're the pod. Get on board.
Baby. Yeah, get on board. Jump in there. I'll be in Key West, by the way, which is they're like, the new variant is going wild in Florida. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And then there's the Brazilian thing. So Key West comedy next weekend, 11th through 13th, and something in March. Side Splitters in March, and I don't know. So go join the Patreon. Sign up for my YouTube, whatever you say. Subscribe to that. Couple videos up there. And check out Mindful Metal Jacket if you got anxiety or depression. I got to start plugging this thing. It's got 11 viewers, so go check it out. Listen to it. It's a lot of fun. And then Ronan and I are talking movies. For the love of fucking Christ, take it easy on the guy. These comments, you got to see him. It's brutal.
Really? I left a few.
I feel for him. He's a wonderful comic. And I got to just hammer home, Ronan Hirschberg, one of the best comics
Great
working.
Comic. Killer.
Even if his movie opinions are trash, just take it easy on the guy and listen to his albums because he's amazing.
Yes, he's a beast. Yeah, what's the album called? I forgot. It's a killer album.
Downhill Ever Since. It's really great.
There
and,
you go.
Absolutely hilarious. And he killed at the VU also. I mean, sure, he's, his
Jewish.
movies opinions. Yikes.
Oh, yeah.
But,
no.
anyways, check it out.
Check it out, folks. Keep it on. Tell a friend. Blow your dead. Praise Allah. And, we'll see you next week. Things are looking up. We're going to get out of this goddamn pandemic at some point.
Vaccine.